Hey, welcome back to the Experience Share. Today we're coming back to you with Witch gameplay. After a few different modifications to the deck, we removed a couple of cores to play the Far East Assassin. But for the most part, the deck's remained unchanged since then. And taking a look at our hand here, it's a little bit slow, but the towers are going to be good for us. The awkward thing here is the smokestacks, and that's going to turn off our own towers. We'll see how that ends up impacting us here. All right, so we can go tower, and we're just going to go with the aggressive bolt to take our opponent down to 17. Now, here with the Devil's Egg, we can go ahead and play the Far East Assassin on the next turn. And with that, that'll let us have that Far East Assassin with stealth. We can move it over to our opponent's side here, and then we'll be able to cast the Devil's Egg in its hand and slowly start draining our opponent down for 1. And looking at the way things are going, this is where the smokestacks is really slowing us down. Because with the Maddening Bells in hand, I would love to be able to throw a Maddening Bells at our opponent on turn 3. But that's unfortunately not going to be able to happen with the smokestack sitting right there in the middle. And our opponent plays on the pikeman. The good news is Far East Assassin has stealth, and so they're not going to be able to stop us from walking onto their site, casting a Devil's Egg. And I would love to also be able to have that Red Desert take care of that foot soldier, but same thing, smokestacks turning off the desert there. But we're just going to walk the Far East Assassin over to our opponent's site, and then we'll have the Devil's Egg slowly start taking our opponent down 1 point of life per turn. And next turn, we are able to cast a tower in the far right. We'll have all the threshold we need. We'll be able to cast a Maddening Bells. Opponent coming in with the aggressive attack, hits us with a pikeman, a foot soldier, takes us down. It is 16 all. All right, and our opponent taps to play a free city. They have 4 mana here. All right, and they play 2 for the Mad Dash. All right, and after the Mad Dash, they go ahead and pass over to us. And at this point of the game, I did start running into some technical difficulties with TTS. I had to start using only the mouse. The keyboard stopped working, which was weird. I don't have that bug happen very often. But we go ahead and cast a tower. We have 5 mana here. We get the Maddening Bells. And now the question is it worth just keeping them here? Do I go ahead and throw the bells? And that's what we go ahead and decide to do. Throw the bells at the Avatar of Air, hit our opponent for 4, lose stealth, and then we'll still have the Devil's Egg on our opponent's side, training for 1 for turn. And then now our opponent's spells cost 2 additional mana here. Okay, and our opponent paying 4 mana here to drop down the Crusade. And then we'll attack for 4/6. That'll hurt. We'll go down to 10. And then their Avatar of Air is actually just going to go ahead and attack our Far East Assassin, take 2 damage. And then they will pass over to us. Devil's Egg tricking them down for 1. All right, we play the Hippogriffs here. Go ahead and attack. And we should go ahead and pick up the Devil's Egg. And we'll go ahead and tap to curse our opponent here, draining them for 2 life. And then we'll pass here, Devil's Egg, take them down to 1. And now, in theory... Oh, interesting. I must not have said to pick up the Devil's Egg. So it's definitely a misplay on my part. I should have said, hey, I picked up the Devil's Egg with the Highland Falconer, and that would have prevented him from being able to walk it over onto my site here. Because he's walking it over, that's going to put us in a bit of an awkward situation. All right, and Pac-Man goes ahead and attacks us for 4. Foot Soldier attacks us for 2. And the Devil's Egg is going to bring us down to Death's Door. I'm going to just slightly change their mind on the location of where they want their pikemen. So they want the pikemen under the avatar of Earth. Okay, actually walk that back. And move the pikeman down, play the Autumn Unicorn, and pass it over to us. We have 4 mana. We go ahead, send them to Death's Door, and I was thinking I could fire bolts here, but I actually can't kill the pikeman that way. And so instead, what we're going to be able to do here is cast a Highland Falconer, and that will give us 2 blockers. Then we're going to have either the Firebolt or the Kobolds in hand to try to finish off this game. And our opponent can attack with their avatar because that would actually kill them in the attack. And so right now they only have 2 attackers, so they need some sort of removal spell. Cerberus in Chains is not a removal spell. And our opponent goes ahead, attacks, we block with the Falconer, attacks with the Unicorn, we go ahead and block with the Bats, and then our opponent has to pass over to us, and so we have the walk forward and shoot the Firebolts to go ahead and finish up game 1. And give us just a second, we're going to clean up this board, and I'll be right back with you for game 2. Alright, welcome back to game 2 of Witch vs. Avatar of Earth. We have the Far East Assassin, feels pretty good here. To be able to give us, you can throw bells, we can throw Devil's Egg, whatever that might be. We definitely want a Fire Threshold. And we accidentally draw 1 extra spell. So looking here, we have the Smokestacks Tower and the Desert. I am hoping that we don't have to play the Smokestacks too early here, and so we're just going to play the Desert and pass. Next turn we'll be able to go Tower Cobalt. We'll see. We could also just be Tower and Far East Assassin. Okay, I should have struck myself here with the Kobolds. So Kobolds has to strike it into turn. So I should be at 18 right now. Alright, our opponent playing a Bedrock will be able to come in, attack for 2, and then have the Kobolds deal 2 additional damage. Boss Troll is going to change the plans up quite a bit here. We're not going to be able to play or use Kobolds in attack, but we can go ahead and do Smokestacks and then Vile and pass turn and go ahead and have the Kobolds strike down, get rid of that Boss Troll, and we'll pass it over to our opponent. And if they play anything big here, we can always draw a sight and then cast an Infiltrate to gain control of whatever creature they might play. Alright, Rift Valley coming down here. And let's see where they end up moving and manipulating some of our sites and minions. Alright, Rift Valley just straight in the middle there. Alright, and another Crusade comes down. And so we should probably take a site. Okay, so we can tap, go to 5 mana, and then play Far East Assassin and a Falconer. That's probably what this turn has to look like. So here comes the tower, and we're just trying to think over exactly placement. Does it make sense to play it forward? We are going to go ahead and play it forward there, since we're trying to have aggressive positioning, cut off as many Earth sites near us as we can. We're going to put the Falconer here on the Smokestack, so when Kobolds attacks, it has a quote unquote free strike on the Highland Falconer. And then we'll play out the Stealth Far East Assassin. And we're going to go ahead and get in for 2 here. Actually, 4 after the Kobold. And we'll go ahead and use the Kobold, so we'll strike the Falconer and leave our opponent down at 16. Alright, our opponent taps, plays a desert. It is turned off by the smokestacks, but I don't know how much of an effect that would have had right now anyways. Alright, and the pikeman comes down. It's not the easiest thing for our deck to deal with. It's going to depend upon what we draw off the top. But it's very possible that Infiltrate might just be the best play right now. And with the second to Infiltrate off the top, it's going to all but kind of lock down the game. Because they're about to take, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, up to 10? Alright, we go ahead and start attacking here. And the bat comes in, hits for 2. Cobalt hits for 2. Violin hits for 2. And at this point, we can just go ahead and pass over with 6 mana. Actually, at this point, we go ahead and pass over to our opponent. With, what, 6 life left, we'll be able to come in. And it's going to be really tough for them to be able to deal and remove with all this. And smokestacks of our own coming down. Oh no, and the earthquake. That is the answer. Now, maybe I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit. I should have said 1 additional cost rather than drain for 2. The drain for 2 probably didn't matter too much. But then after the earthquake, I think they're going to have to pass over to us. Yep, that was all 5 of their mana. Alright, we get a bat. So we just drain for 2 with the witch and then go ahead and cast a bat. And so now we're threatening Death's Door next turn. Alright, Unicorn coming down to play defense. Alright, Avatar of Earth is going to go ahead and move up 1. We have the Chaos Twister, so we can try to Chaos Twister their own Unicorn. The other option is we just go ahead and Infiltrate, take control of the Unicorn that's right on top of them, and then we'll be able to go ahead and swing for the full 6 to go ahead and take out or bring our opponent to Death's Door. Alright, now our opponent's taking a look at their hand, seeing if there's anything that they want to do to try to get out. And this is when they come to the realization that, there's really nothing I can do to get away, because we have this Stealth Autumn Unicorn that can move whichever direction is needed in order to finish off that Avatar of Earth. But thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you agree with these changes? Would you be playing Far East Assassin? Are there any other artifacts that I should be considering playing? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye.